Ideally today what we're going to do is we're going to fish for pollock. There we go, there's one pollock. The 4,000 reel, 25 pound braid and 30 pound mono leader. I got the fish as soon as I catch them, really. I don't wait till I get home. And the reason is that they can spoil. Good morning, hello, welcome to the video. Today we're fishing in Strumblehead in Pembrokeshire. It's just outside Fishguard, really great place. Ideally today what we're going to do is we're going to fish for pollock. I'm down on holiday for 3 days, so I just wanted to keep myself busy. Ideally I'd quite like a bass, but if we don't go home without a bass, I'm not too worried. What I'm going to try to do is explain why this is such a great area for pollock. So when you're fishing for pollock, really there's three things you need. You need deep water, you need rocky terrain, and, well, a fishing rod. But ideally what you want is that deep water where it's really rocky, and the third one is actually kelp. So what pollock do is they'll hide within the kelp, under the rocks, and they'll wait for other fish to come by. They're a predator fish, so what they'll do is they'll see a shoal of perhaps sand eels come by, they'll swoop out and they'll bite them. So what we're going to try to do today is try and just intimidate that. Try and intimidate a sand eel going past. I'm going to try bass sticks to begin with. Don't think they're going to be that successful. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try a sidewinder and perhaps just a small little Dennick Super Sprat, which I've got on at the moment, which is there. What I'm finding is with pollock at the moment is they really just like the silver. Anything that's quite small, silvery, they'll go for it. Yesterday, for example, it was only small pollock, but I was just dipping it in the water underneath the kelp, bam, bite, and it works. So what you've just got to intimidate, small fish going by, it's perhaps wounded, or just going by at a good speed that they can just swoop up. Equipment wise, I've got an 8-foot rod, which is 20 to 60 grams again, the 4,000 reel, 25 pound braid and 30 pound mono leader attached via an Albright knot. Then I've got a quick link attached to the spinner. Leader lengthwise, I'm running about 3-4 foot today. Ideally I'd like longer because this is rocky. But I got on from yesterday. I checked the knots, and they're all fine. So that's one tip: always check your knots if you're going out again the day after. But it's fine. If it snaps, whatever, and I'll replace it then. We are quite high up today. So it's going to be hard to land the fish. It's going to be a bit cowboys and Indians, but I think I might have to just grab the line and manually bring it in myself rather than risk snapping the rod. As long as you keep a good tension on the fish, it should be okay. But as soon as it gets up, then I'll either put it back or I'll dispatch it as soon as possible if I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep probably 1 or 2 pollock today. If they're a decent size, if they're small, I'll just throw them back. And the reason is I want to try and make fish cakes. So we'll get going. I'll put it on video and hopefully we'll get some catch. Go. There's one pollock. I have just dispatched this one, but I do want to keep him. He is of a decent size. I think he's about 37, something like that. I can't remember. I just measured him now. So what I just had happen there was I had a fish on, and what pollock do is they'll dive. They'll just go straight down into the kelp. What happened then is my line snagged, which was almost impossible to get out. So I just lost it. What happened is the leader detached from the main line, but it's part of it, whatever, we move on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie another leader, but I've extended my lead, so it's probably 4 or 5 foot now. With the leader line, what I do is I tie a modified all-bright knot. It's the most simple for me to do, to be honest. When I'm out, I don't really want to be doing really complicated knots. This for me will hold the fish big enough. You know, some people say it's not the strongest knot, but I'm not catching sharks. I'm just catching pollock up to, you know, probably max £5, £6 here. So this will certainly do me. You know, I put some serious strain on these knots and nothing to break. So I'm quite confident that this provides enough strength for me. So what I'll do, bring that round, back under. With the all-bright knot, what you want to do is go round the exact same amount of times as you did previously. If you watch the video, it all makes sense. Some people, I have experimented with using swivel, and to be honest, it's done the job. It has. Some people would call that, they won't. Always wet your knots. Some people would say that's just balmy, you know, you should never do something like that. It's never failed me. There you go, that's quite tight then. Yeah, see, I'm putting some big strain on it. That's not breaking. It took me a lot of pulling power to release that down there. Some people cut these completely flush. I actually don't. I leave just a small bit, just in case it becomes slightly undone. The only thing to note then is when you're doing this is cutting them a little bit longer is watch them going through the eyes. They can catch in the eyes and probably rip one of the eyes out of the rod. So don't leave it too long. Just leave a little bit. There you go. So what I'm going to do now then, I'm going to attach my quick link onto the end, and we'll be ready to go again. So one thing to note when the tide is going out is that you often get pull in the water. So what I would do is I'd be standing on that ledge and I'd be casting out. But if I cast out here, the pull of the water will take my lure over there. So if I want to retrieve it here, what I'm doing is casting way over here. What's happening then is my lure is slowly coming back to me, but going across as well, so sort of going in a diagonal line. It's just one thing to note. So I just call it fanning. So I go out here, I go around in the shape of a fan, then I'm back. That's just one thing to note when the tide is going out, because it's easy to lose lures, wrap around the rocks, and anything like that. But that's quite a pretty sight there. Look at that. We've got a rainbow just on the berry going across. So this is the one I caught today. This is the biggest. There was a small one as well, which I've just decided to put back. There was no point in keeping them. Just for proof, you know, from tip to tail it's about 43, 44. What I've done is I've just got a little tape measure, and I just write on it what size it is. I know for pollock it's about 30. I can't remember the exact 30 or 32. So what was the lure clip? So what I've done, yeah, as I said, I just write it on there, and it's quite easy to see. And memory fails you, you know exactly what you've got. But I think this will be a nice one to keep today. I have scraped some of the scales off, but a lot of the time with pollock, it's this browny kind of colour. It's almost like a silvery greeny brown. And I know it's a pollock because it lives under the rocks. So lovely fish. What I've done is I've just gutted him. How you gut the fish, if you're not into this kind of stuff, you can turn off now. But it's just about 3/4 of the way up. It's perhaps half, 3/4 of the way down. It'll open up this cavity. Just simply pull out all the guts, wash it in the pool. You know, I just use one of these like that and clean it all up. I gut the fish as soon as I catch them. Really, I don't wait till I get home, and the reason is that they can spoil. They can start to taste funny, especially pollock.
A lot of people bleed the fish as well, but that's something I don't do. I know it can improve the taste, but I'm quite comfortable just eating them like that. So I think we'll call it a day today. Been a successful session. You know, we haven't got too much, hasn't kept us too busy, but I've got that one pollock which I want to try and make fish cakes out of. I will lately only keep what I eat. I'll keep some as bait if I really need to, but at the moment my bait storage is fine. I've got some mackerel in there, which I caught in the summer, so I've frozen that for the time being, and I've just filleted it. And that's one thing you need to know, is that if you're going to use mackerel as bait, you need to make sure you fillet it. You can freeze them whole if you have things like bull and dog and things like that. For me, if I'm just after bass, I'll just fillet them, freeze them in strips then, and you can even put a bit of salt on them to keep them nice and dry, dryish. You don't want them too moist, but hopefully that makes sense. But lovely day, cool out success. Thanks for watching.